Hi everybody, this is Sam. Today is June 4th, 2019, and I am doing a vlog. I haven't done a vlog in the longest time, so I thought I would do one. Okay, so first of all, today is 7 years to the day that I moved from Massachusetts to Chicago. So to recap, I moved from Massachusetts because when I left college, I didn't want to live at my parents' house anymore, but I also didn't feel comfortable living with roommates because of my experience with roommates was in college was they were always out and I was alone and kind of isolated, and I didn't feel comfortable with that. So I did a lot of research and I found this place called Friedman Place for people who are blind and visually impaired, an assisted living community. And I did a lot of research. I went out and saw it, and it was really good. And I asked them, do you work with people with mental illness as well? Because I have my depression diagnosis at the time. I had my depression diagnosis. I had my anxiety. I also was dealing with the PTSD type stuff. And they said, oh yeah, we do, definitely. We have psychiatrists, we have psychologists, we have all this and that. And it didn't seem, I wasn't looking for a specialize in it, but it seemed like they knew what they were doing. So I went out there, and looking back on it almost right from the beginning, my depression was definitely there, my anxiety was there, I was self-harming, and I didn't have a therapist right off, that I could talk to. I thought I'd be seeing their psychologist, and it turned out that their psychologist only took Medicare, and I didn't find that out till I got out there. So then I had to look on my own for resources, and it's really hard when you're in a new city, a new area, and having to advocate for yourself on resources. And I went with a couple interns I went to. I didn't really like them. I got in with Trilogy. I saw one of their therapists for a little bit. I didn't like her. And I just couldn't find that fit, and I didn't find that fit until I was with Jonathan. And unfortunately, it took my whole breakdown, and I didn't want anything to do with therapy when I started talking to him. And then eventually I was like, okay, you're my therapist because you've earned it. But anyways, so yeah, when I went out there, I loved it. I loved having my own apartment. I felt so accomplished and happy, and I did a lot of stuff for Friedman. I loved the staff were very sweet and very nice. And, unfortunately things just went downhill with my anxiety and depression. I think the staff were the type of people that really don't understand that depression and anxiety is more than, having bad days or just thinking too much about something and just being a worrywart. They didn't understand, what I was going through. And when it got more and more complicated, they understood even less. So that's when I self-harmed more, and then I got suicidal, and then that's when I left. So here I am. I spent a year and a half, a very good year and a half there, in some ways, and then in other ways it wasn't good because I was hiding so much of what was really going on with me, and I couldn't figure it out on my own. And the staff were empathetic, but they really didn't get it. And so then I ended up at Albany Care, and then, 6 years later, I'm here. So it all is hard for me because I don't think that there was a different choice I could have made. Looking back, I'm seeing all the emails and my journal entries and stuff. That I don't think there was a different choice I could have made, because when things got so bad that I had attempted to attempt suicide, basically, in that apartment, knowing how they do things, they only do rounds like once a day or once a shift or something, and they don't even really come into your apartment. They just knock on the door. That basically, your apartment is a pretty unsafe place to be if you're suicidal, because they don't they don't check in on you. Obviously they don't. It's assisted living, so it's not like a nursing home. So there was no way I could have gone back there. But then when I got to be 2015, 2016, I did look into going back there, and that's when I was told by Robbie, my friend, who's like my little brother, told by him about, the executive director and how he's not very good at all, and how there has been no advancement on the mental health front, and even it seems that it's been, even less of a consideration than it was before. And so that was really hard to hear, and so I just ended up staying at Albany Care. And so now, having to be 7 years later, it's like, okay, do I want to try to go back there? Like, could I go back there? Here, I moved all the way out here. When am I actually going to move back east? I don't even know. It's all going to depend on my parents and what they can do, because, like it or not, that's kind of the only situation I could find myself in terms of living, out in the community, is going to be with them. It's not going to be anything else. There's no way they're going to support me in moving out with roommates, like Jesse and other people. Either I live, with them, or I live out here. So, yeah, I mean, it's horrible. It's horribly sad that this is the only place in the whole country for the blind. They should be able to handle, basically, within reason, anyone that comes in. Deaf, wheelchair, whatever, because it's for the blind. Blind people have other things going. Everyone has different issues going on, but blind people have different disabilities, and it's not even like, the mental illness is just part of life now, and so many places and so many things are picking up on the mental illness, and no stigma and everything. So I don't understand why they're so behind on it. But they are, and so I think that they have a psychiatrist that comes in, this Dr. Gill, who was my psychiatrist actually at Albany Care, and he came here for one meeting and then he left, he quit. So anyways, they have that, and then but we don't know how often he comes in. But they don't have any therapy, they don't have any anything like that. They have social workers. And that, I guess, I don't even know what the social workers do. They help people find resources outside of Reedman. So I don't know how that even really goes. So, yeah, I mean, I'm probably going to not do anything further on it because it just doesn't seem workable. I think my depression would kick in pretty easily. When I was back there, I would forget my meds. I wouldn't go to meals. I would just isolate. And I would have, depression isn't like all, well, for me it wasn't all, all day affair. Back then, I would have big spurts of energy. I would use all my energy to help with the volunteering, help find internships, help, do anything I could for the organization. And I did everything that I could, and I worked so hard. But I didn't let people in on how I was really feeling, and I don't think that they could have really understood anyways. And so the worst nightmare would be for me to get back into self-harming and, just total depression again, which I think would happen, in a place like there that you're just so isolated. Like, at least here, like, everybody knows about the mental health aspect. And so, like, they are going to know what's going on with you if you seem weird. Like, you see nurses, like, 3 times a day or whatever, twice a day, depending on when you get your meds. The staff is there, and no matter what goes going on, they're going to be there, for you, and supposedly there for you. I mean, they're not here, but I'm just saying, like, in general, at an SMHRF, it's for the mental health. So, yeah, they have their issues here, but, it's a much better environment than sitting in my own apartment, no encouragement to go to meals, no, whatever. So yeah, that's my thing for today. And then tomorrow is my birthday, and I'm 31. Woohoo! And I'm going to just hang out, and we're going to go to RJ Grunt's, which is actually the restaurant that my family took me to when they dropped me off in Chicago 7 years ago. And so we're going. And we're going to get probably chicken fingers and then a big shake. And a dessert for my birthday. And I'm just going to hang out and have a good day, hopefully. And Wednesday, we are not going to therapy. Yay. So I will do another video about therapy because that's like a whole other conversation. But, anyways. So yeah, that's my vlog recap. 7 years in Chicago, feeling down about it. My birthday tomorrow, 31. Wow. The only difference I can tell between this year and last year was the biggest thing that happened this year is that I did finally get on antipsychotic, and so I'm not having those ghost feelings touching me and all those various voices coming at me like I was this time last year. Because now I know I can't handle that alone, and I need that antipsychotic med. And that's the biggest thing, I think. I mean, other than that, it's been kind of the same. Well, it hasn't. I mean, when did I see, what's her face? This coming fall? I mean, this past fall? I don't know when I saw Megan. But, anyways, yeah. That's basically about it. So, I'll talk to you later. Bye.
Skype, my movie, web, stop.